All right, if you're watching this, I'm guessing you take your training pretty seriously. You're meticulous, you're dedicated, and you're always looking for that edge. So let's dive right in because we're about to look at a totally different way of understanding your body that might just unlock your next level of performance. You know this scene, right? You've got the watch, you're tracking your heart rate variability, you're logging your sleep, you know your splits down to the second, you get progressive overload, you follow the latest recovery protocols. I mean, according to all the modern sports science, you're checking every single box. And yet, maybe you've hit that wall. Despite having what looks like a perfect training plan, you just keep hitting a plateau. Or maybe you're dealing with these nagging little injuries that won't go away. Or you just feel off, in a way that none of your data, none of your metrics can quite explain. So what is going on? Well, this leads us to something we could call the data trap. And it's this idea that when we focus only on the numbers, on the quantitative data, we can sometimes miss the bigger picture. Now, let's be really clear here. This is not about telling you to throw away your GPS watch or ignore your power meter. Not at all. It's about adding a really crucial layer of understanding on top of all that great data. Think of it as adding a new, powerful tool to your toolbox, not replacing an old one. So what is this missing piece of the puzzle? Let's explore a different perspective. A really ancient framework that can give some powerful context to all that modern data you're already collecting. And that framework is Yin-Yang theory. Now, before you dismiss this as some abstract philosophy, just hang with me for a second. This is a system that's been used for over 2,000 years to understand how the body works, identify imbalances, and really optimize human function. It's less about mysticism and way more about a time-tested science of just observing patterns. Okay, so how does this ancient idea actually connect to your modern training data? Well, the best way I've found to get it is with a super simple analogy, thinking in terms of a snapshot versus a time-lapse. This is where it gets really interesting. Western science is absolutely brilliant at measuring those precise outputs. Your watts, your VO2 max. It tells you exactly what is happening in one specific moment with incredible precision. Eastern medicine, on the other hand, is amazing at understanding the patterns and the relationships between all those moments. It's focused on how things connect and why imbalances show up over time. So, to put it as simply as possible, your data gives you that perfect, high-definition photo of a single moment in time. This other perspective, it gives you the time-lapse video, showing you the whole story as it unfolds across days, weeks, and even entire seasons. And the athlete who learns how to see both, well, that's the one who truly gets the full story of their own performance. So when you start to integrate these two views, you get a much, much more complete picture. And this isn't just theory, right? It has real, tangible benefits that can help you bust through those plateaus we were talking about earlier. And this slide, this is the payoff. This is what you actually gain. You'll start to recognize those hidden patterns that your numbers alone can't show you. You'll learn to spot an imbalance before it becomes that nagging injury. You'll start to understand why some training methods just click for you while others don't. And maybe most importantly, you'll make way better decisions about when to push and when to rest. It gives you a whole new language to understand and talk about what you're feeling. Honestly, the best way to approach all of this is to think of it like you're learning a new language for your own body. This isn't about adding more homework or another metric to optimize. It's just about learning to listen in a different way. And this journal here is a perfect example of what I mean. On the left, you've got the hard data, right? Squat reps, HRV, hours of sleep. On the right, you have that new layer of understanding, a little sketch of energy cycles, a note asking, am I pushing too hard? This is how the two languages work together, side by side. One gives context to the other. And yeah, you're going to hear some terms like yang phase, which you can think of as periods of high energy and output, or yin deficiency, which might feel like burnout or that deep bone-tired fatigue. If the language feels a little weird at first, that is totally normal. The goal isn't to become an expert overnight, but to just start observing and seeing if these concepts begin to line up with what you're actually experiencing as an athlete. So, the single most important piece of advice, the one big takeaway as you start to explore this, is right here on the screen. Approach this with curiosity, not skepticism. You don't have to believe anything right away. Just stay open. Just observe your own body and see if these patterns start to make sense for you. Which brings us to our final question. Forget all the theory for a second and just ask yourself this. What is your body already trying to tell you that your data might be missing? That's the real conversation we're starting today.